what do you feel like you guys have to do as a team to prevent runs where the bottom just kind of falls out like it did there in the fourth quarter?
Just play hard, take away some of the team's tendencies, what they like to do best. And even if they do hit a run, just be able to respond and not drop our heads or get low. But really just keep playing hard because teams are going to make runs. But at the same time, when they make a run, be ready to come back and counter it.
Kyra, this is Jim from Pelicans.com. Excuse me. One of the things that I think a lot of people have noticed that you've done defensively lately is had really good anticipation and coming up with steals where you're coming from the weak side and it's not your guy that you're taking the ball from. How much more comfortable do you think you are defensively, and how much of an effect has it been to just be on the court as far as that end of the floor?
I feel like my anticipation was one of the best things that I could provide on the defensive end. Just knowing what players like to do, watching film and reading the scouting report. I just feel like every time I get on the court, I get more comfortable and comfortable, and choosing my spots when I can use it to the best of my advantage. Keep the offense kind of hesitant on what they want to do because they know I'm always watching and trying to get an opportunity to make a big play.
Hey, it's Andrew from ESPN. When you go against a guy like Chris Paul, and I know Bi, Stan, they both kind of said it was a situation last night where Chris kind of took over the game. As a young point guard, what do you take from watching him up close the way you did last night?
You just watch everything he did, from talking to his guys, navigating ball screens, making the right passes, just always being engaged, every aspect of the game, how he just seen how we was gonna play him, and all first 3 quarters, and he made the right plays, but in the fourth quarter, he kind of took the game over, just making the right pass, making the right reads. Maybe if he had to score, he scored, and maybe if he had to make a pass or assist or a hockey assist, he just kept making the right plays.
Yeah, and going back to what you're doing defensively, I think another thing you've excelled with is kind of getting around picks, making it hard for the bigs to screen you. Is that something you kind of learned over time? Do you think that's a skill you're kind of born with? I guess, how do you get to that point where you make it difficult for bigs to cut you off like that?
Well, I just try to use my quickness, you know, because once I know sometimes it's tough if you get some screeners because they know how to screen and the guard does a good job of setting you up. I just try to get into the ball as best as I can, and try to get my lead foot over and try to disrupt the ball handler as much as possible, and try to help my big not have to stay as long as he has to. And I'm just trying to get better at that every day.
Kyra, just the way you guys play defensively as a team, trying to take away shots to the rim, but also get out and close out on shooters. We've heard Stan, we've heard JJ say, it's not an easy thing to do. There's a degree of difficulty, especially with the skill in today's game. What kind of commitment do you think it takes to effectively do both those things at the team?
It's a big commitment because, like you said, it's not easy. Having to protect the rim, and then a point guard makes a good pass to the corner, and you have to close out, and not also close out to take away the shot, but take away the drive as well. So it takes a lot of commitment, but we knew it was gonna be hard, and like Coach say, winning is hard. So you have to do the hard things to be successful.
Yeah, and last night was one of the first times we really saw you struggle just to knock shots down, a couple of open looks that you usually knock down, you just didn't make. I guess, what are your teammates telling you during that stretch when you're kind of struggling with your shot, and what other ways are you trying to contribute when your shot's just not going down?
Just keep playing. Just keep being aggressive. Um, don't get too low because that's what happens in the course of a season. Every player has one of those days where they just don't make shots. And just come in the next day and work hard and just shoot the ball, get extra reps up, and and also in the game they was just telling me, on the defensive end, try to do something to make a big play to get you going, and that's what I tried to do. Shots just didn't fall yesterday, but I'm pretty sure it'll be better Sunday.
All right, thank you, Kai. Appreciate your time.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Kyra.
Yep, thanks, Kyra. Appreciate it.
everybody. We can get started with Coach. Jim, you can go ahead. Hey, Coach, this is Jim from Pelicans.com. I was wondering, what have you seen from Kyra defensively? It seems like one thing that he's done really well is anticipation on defense, where he's coming from the weak side and getting steals on guys that aren't the man that he's guarding. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, Jim, I think you're exactly right. I mean, he reads plays really, really well. He's got great anticipation. He's quick. He's got great hands, and he's fearless. So I think he does a good job off the ball. Where his improvements got to come defensively, and this is the reverse of what I see normally with young players, is where he's got to come defensively is on the ball, guarding the ball, keeping the ball in front of him, being able to pressure the ball a little bit more, things like that. But off the ball, I think he's way ahead of the curve for a young guy.
Hey, Coach, it's Andrew from ESPN. I know a lot of practice time has been devoted to defense. But what does it say about the offensive capabilities of this team that you can have a 122 offensive rating or whatever it is since you got back from that road trip without really having to do much work on it in practice, that you guys are focusing on defensive stuff all the time?
Yeah, I mean, that's sort of, Andrew, the shame of it, to be honest, is that we're playing so well at the offensive end that if we could just get to average or close to it defensively, you feel like, about the only game where our offense has betrayed us was last night in the fourth quarter. And that's really rare for us. I mean, but the other times, you're right. And even more telling than the last 14 games is we're in this streak of being 1-4, and our offensive rating's gone up. It's 129 over the last 5 games, and you only get 1 win out of it, which I think tells you pretty clearly that offense is not the problem. And our offense has been good, I think, because, we're doing a great job sharing the ball. Brandon and Zion are playing at a high level. Lonzo's playing at a high level. And we've done a really good job playing together. What we are is sort of a 180 from where we were early in the year, where we were a good defensive team. And we were all talking in these type of things, and even among our staff, of what are we going to do offensively and our spacing and all of that. And now it's, we're 7th even on the whole season offensively and can't stop anybody. So, now I will say this, guys, I'd rather be there right now than the other way around, even though defense is more important to me, because I feel like it's more fixable. If you don't have enough offensive talent, you'll be banging your head against the wall forever trying to figure out ways to score. The fact that we can score, even though we haven't shown it and I haven't shown it, I do feel like we can fix the defense and be better at that end. So, I still have great hopes and optimism for this team because I think we can fix that part of it.
Hey, Christian Clark here. I know this season, just practice days have been increasingly hard to come by. How nice was it to just be able to get one in here?
Yeah, and we did about 40 minutes of live work probably, and then did our walkthrough for tomorrow because, we're just all, and look, this isn't an excuse because every team's going through it, but trying to figure out the COVID stuff because of testing. Normally on a 2:30 game like tomorrow, we'd come and do our walkthrough at the arena at 11:30, but to do that, everybody would have had to test between 10 and 10:30. So you would have had to have guys get to the arena 4.5 hours before the game. As it is, they have to test tonight after 11 o'clock tonight. They have to drive back to the practice facility and test. And then they've got to be there early enough to test tomorrow to play. I don't think everybody really understands how hard this has been on players and what their and what they're going through. And again, I don't say that as an excuse because every team in the league is doing it. I'm just saying, like, you know, it's really been hard on guys.
Yeah, you talked about Kyra defensively and what he's doing this year. What about Eric Bledsoe? What have you kind of seen from him defensively and what he's done?
Look, Eric's a good defender. I'd like him to even take a step up and really, like, you know, pressure the ball and really get into people and be a disruptive force defensively. And I think we'll see more of that going forward.
Yeah, and one more defensive question for me. I kind of asked you this the other night about the way you're using your bigs and pick and roll situations. I think a lot of times when you see bigs like Steven Adams and Billy around the league, guys like to use them in drop coverage, and you're bringing them out a little bit more. You said earlier this year you were dropping them back, and then you brought them up. I guess what did you guys kind of evaluate to kind of get to that point where you feel a little bit more comfortable bringing those guys up a little higher?
Well, I don't think after last night we feel that comfortable. You know, I mean, look, it's as simple as this, Will. I haven't found the right answer for this team. I have not. And we need to keep exploring. I know it can work with the big up. Denver puts Jokic up on all the pick and rolls, and he's not the most mobile guy in the world. It's a matter of priorities, but obviously spreading out your defense, what it opens up is more threes. And we're getting absolutely crushed at the three-point line. So it's not all in pick and rolls, but it's probably the only thing we can scheme for in pick and rolls. And we have to, I'm talking we as coaching staff, me primarily as a decision maker, we have to find a way to get the threes under control to give ourselves a chance. I mean, if you look at the rest of even our defensive numbers, they're not bad. The only other areas where you're really concerned are that we don't create a lot of turnovers, especially for a team that's spread out. But we don't give up points in the paint, really, not a lot. We're top 10 there. We don't foul. We get back. I mean, you know, all of those things are pretty good. We rebound the ball. It's the three-point line. And really, if you look at the numbers on both sides of the ball, you sort of come away with they don't force a lot of turnovers. They don't shoot free throws really well. And, you know, but the main thing is they give up a lot of threes. Everything else is pretty good. I mean, you know, if you look and analyze and evaluate by the numbers, everything else is pretty good. And we've got to get that under control. I've got to find a way to get that under control. I deserve any criticism coming my way. We have not done a good job defensively with this team since the first 6 games of the year. And we've got to find some answers, you know, and I haven't yet. So lay it on my doorstep.
Hey, Coach, this is Alec with the Bird Rights. I'm curious, when the offense does hit a wall like it did yesterday, what would you like to see happen? Would you want to see the players basically rely and trust the scheme? Would you like to see maybe a player or two, one of the captains or the leaders of the team step up? But what would you like to see happen? And I'm talking outside of turnovers.
Are you talking about our defense or offense, Ollie?
Oh, I'm sorry, Coach. Yeah, offensively.
Offensively, yeah, you know what? I'll take the hit on that one too because we just haven't been struggling at all offensively. And our answer has been, even when we hit short droughts, our answer has been get the ball in Brandon's hands, run something for him, get the ball in Zion's hands. And last night they were loaded up on us, and you know, we should have gone to stuff with more movement. I did not do that. But then the other thing is, and we talked about it today as a group, same thing had happened in Indiana when they had the fourth quarter comeback. When we get hit with those haymakers, we slow down. Our pace gets really slow, and that's not by design. that's not by design. Now, part of it is the ball's going through the basket all the time, but we don't even push up into our sets. We sort of really slow down. So the answer to your question is, I think when we hit those things, I need to get us in stuff with more movement, and we need to play at a better pace, both in the full court and the half court.
Hey, just one more for you quickly. Was Steven able to go through practice today?
Steven did not go through practice. He is feeling better. He did shoot afterwards, but he did not go through practice.
All right, thank you, Coach. Appreciate your time.
All right, guys. Sorry you had to wait so long. Oh, that's right. You got stuff for me.